Heads are up, the chests are out, the arms are swinging and cadence count. Sound off. 1, 2. Sound off. 3, 4. Cadence count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So, Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, as in part one, I was talking about my whole experience at SSB Kolkata. In this video, I'm going to talk about the mistakes or the key learning aspect of the psychology test, of the GTO test, and of the interview test that I noted down, and I think that I should share with you. And if any of you find it relevant, do subscribe this video, this channel, and this like this video. Now, further discussing, before discussing, I would like to also tell you that in the further upcoming series, I'm going to talk about my whole prep journey. I'm going to talk about the whole process of SSB. I'm going to share my notes. I'm going to share topics related to geopolitical topics or social economical topics and how one should prepare. So stay tuned. Okay, so starting with your psych test. So before the first psych test itself is PP and DT. Although many of us think that the psych test is different, but I think that your PPDT picture is also taken into consideration for your psychology. So when your psychology test starts, why I got screened at this time is a big question. So the first point is that my OIR went well, as it was easy for me because I practiced 20 sets, and I did not practice OIR2, which is non-verbal, but I was easily able to solve those as well. Now talking about the PP and DT picture, like I wrote every detail of the picture. As you can see that about the background of the picture, I wrote about it. The number of people, the age of the people, the mood of the people, the gender, the primary character. The primary character is me, obviously, so I wrote about that. Then like in detail about age, gender, mood, and circling primary character. Very, very important. I have missed it in my Bangalore SSB, and I would request that you should practice it, that the primary character should be encircled then and there. When you like mention the age, gender, and mood, just encircle it. Then talking about give actions related to stimulus shown in the image. In GD, never start first. Make a simple story. Jump to others' story. Talk about their elements that they put in their story, add my own points, spoke only twice and made good points, and gave the group a direction but did not shout or became leader or aggressive that I did in my previous SSB screening tests. So this time I did not do that. Okay, then talking about my psychology in detail now. What all did I learn? Okay, so the first thing is that for screening you have to solve OIRs. Okay, I would like to write all of that, all of the points easy for. That is solve OIR. It is important. If you don't solve OIR, then it is a problem. The second thing is that in the GD, first listen to points, okay, and then add points to others' narration, and then you know make your point. Uh, then make your point. It's important. And your, as I mentioned in the part one, that the narration in the in the GD, your point should be crisp, to the point, point wise, and in detail, so that there is a no area of questioning that what of about your point. That suppose I say I live in Patna, so so this tells everybody that I live in Patna. Okay, that's all. But if I say I live in Patna, Bihar, or I specifically mention my address, Patna, Bihar, this. So it is, it is more to the point. So that is what I am trying to say, that make your points clear. Okay, so this is the second thing. Now, never nominate. Okay, this is a very good point that I would like to tell you. Never nominate. If it they ask that nominate somebody, never nominate. Never nominate yourself. Never nominate others. Let the group decide. Let the others decide. You should not decide that. Because I'm saying that because I tried nominating others, and it was not in favor of me. So that's why I'm telling it apart. It's on my experience. So, and the second point is details, actions, lined ups. Obviously, The story should have actions and actions. Not much actions, but main character. Very important. Then you should, use a black pen. Now, this is something very personal to me, not to everybody, but you should use a black ballpoint pen. It is better than blue. And then one major point in the OIR, in the uh, non-verbal series, just try to know start from the back. Why? Because there are some English grammar related questions at the end of the non-verbal test. So attempt those questions first, then come to non-verbal questions from the start. This will help you to achieve more number of questions. So this is one of the points that I understood. Then also talking about VAT, you need to take care of cause and effect. That is word association test. We should take care of cause and effect. Now, what I mean by that is that suppose there is a word war. Now, war, what is the cause of war? There is conflicts, so that means result in war. Okay, and what is the effect? We, general effect is that there is misery, there is a lot of destruction. But there are no negative things. We are not going to talk about. I took a negative word also. I should have taken some other word. Let me take some other word. We can write about war. We can write India won war in 1962. This is a general fact. So we can write it like about negative words. But let me take a simpler example. We can take like wood. So what is the cause of wood? The cause of wood is the sorry, I messed it up again. What we should be talking about is yeah. So what we are going to talk about is a word like table. So what is the cause of table? The cause of table is wood. And what is the effect of table? The effect of table is studying, okay, dining, like the uses of table. So in VAT, what you can do is that you can just simply write like this, that like table is made from wood. You can write it like for studying, table can be used for better posture. Okay, so in VAT you can use this technique, cause and effect technique. Okay, now talking about SRT. So in SRT, I would just like to tell you that try to keep yourself into that picture before writing the solution. Okay, suppose you are traveling and then there are four robbers, what will you do? So if there is one person and four robbers, so it is practical. Is it practical to fight? It is not. But then the situation, if the situation demands that there is a woman and she is into some kind of trouble, then you need to do what kind of solutions will you should practice SRTs more and more. Try to make SRTs as much as you can, but at least use 3 to 4 lines in each SRT in detail. Okay, now talking about SD, that is the most important part, self description. So the first self description is what do you think about yourself, what your parents think about yourself, what your friends thinks about yourself, what your teacher think about yourself, and what you want to become in future. What kind of a person you want to become in the wishful ideas. So try to basically talk about your strengths and weaknesses as well, but weaknesses in such that they should be constructive weaknesses. Constructive weaknesses, as in I mentioned about my weight, that I am overweight and my friends help me with bodybuilding and running and gymming, so that like it can be like achieved in 2 to 3 months. Now it is constructive weakness. It can be like it's not some kind of weakness that cannot be, that is a red flag for you to become an officer. So that is the thing. uh, make the story simple in your tat. Remember this, that make your picture simple in your tat. Make your picture a little simpler. In your tat the picture should be simple picture, not much, not trying to discussing away from the stimulus. Like in this picture that is there now, what you see, First, observe the background. There is a tent that is there. There is a forest, like village area. Then there is a nurse. There is a doctor. There is another doctor. Some kind of old age people are there. So you can just like make this is a medical camp that is there. So you can just like talk about it. Now I will talk about the interview aspect, which is again a very important thing. So what I mentioned in my part one video is the sentence that I mentioned: past behavior, past behavior is current or future prediction. Past behavior is current or future prediction. So past behavior is the best example of future conduct. The more consistently a behavior has been demonstrated in the past, the greater the likelihood that it will be repeated in the future. Okay, so you need to keep three things in mind while in your interview. That is, you need to be convincing in your thoughts. Convincing in your thoughts, then you need to be persuasive. You need to be persuasive in your actions, and then you need to be assertive in your reasoning. So these are the three things that I think you should take care in your interview process. And then talking about GTO. So in GTO, I would like to add points starting with PGT. Okay, so the first thing is that I learned is from one of my recommended seniors is that the load is for the weak. So you know that apart from the fata balli and the rassi that is there, there is a load that we need to carry across the solution. Like there is a load and you have to cross it from this side to that side. So you should not care about the load. The load is for the weak. Somebody will carry it. Okay. So in PGT, what I would like to tell is that the ability to influence the group, you need to show solutions. Okay. In HGT, you need to take it to the center, the solution. You should take it to the center. In command task, you should provide the solution briefly. In GD, you should add 2 to 3 valuable points in both the GDs. In lecturate, you should add in brief about your topic, like the introduction, the challenges, the solutions, and the future implications and everything in detail. But try to be crisp, and you need to cover the whole lecture in 3 minutes. So you need to take care of that as well. In GPE, try to complete the solution first. That's a major thing, because people are not able to complete their solution. They are not able to write their complete solution. So you need to practice to write the complete solution. Then the narration of the solution is also important. Logical points, very mandatory. Suppose there is a cattle lost problem that is there, and then there is a challenge where there are n number of people that are getting affected from that problem. Maybe there is a river and that river is poisoned, for example. So that river problem is more important because there are more number of people getting affected rather than that cattle thing. So more logical solution, and which solutions should be implemented first, that should be taken into consideration. Very logical solutions are required. And last part is individual obstacle. You need to be a little a little fit, I won't say, little courageous for to attempt individual obstacles. I was able to do only 6 this time, and I'm trying to improve, trying to get my fear out of my head, since I was able to do command tasks. But I think that I have a fear of height, and I have to practice that. So I'll practice that in my upcoming videos. Now with that, we come to the end of this video. I hope you like this video. Try to add the points in your notebooks, so like you not do not mistake these take mistakes in your next SSB. And I'll be coming up with more such videos about my SSB experience and my strategy, and how I am learning and improving day to day. And you can also check out my other videos about my other SSB experiences. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Do